you guys?
Let me take a moment to ask a very fair question.
All right, it is Friday. I'm done with nights. I go back to days Monday, 6 a.m. So I don't even have to get up that early. I'm trying to get the horseshoe and the lighting there. You know, I'm telling you boys, good lighting is the key to fitness. You want to have videos where you look like just yoked. Get some good lighting. Wow, that guy's in really good shape for his age. Nah, it's all smoke and mirrors, boys. It's all fake. But I guess I have pretty good genetics for my age. I was going to do this video on, I was going to do my usual responding to comments because people have been responding really well to those. And they're fun. It's fun to like pick comments out where guys make fun of me. Or sometimes it's serious, you know, it's whatever. Whatever I find interesting, I'll talk about. Runner Boy. So Runner Boy was responding to a comment specifically about a Squat University video I posted where this guy was jumping over a chair back and forth and he just kept getting, it was really super impressive. And we were talking about it. I was like, you know, all it takes is one video of a guy doing something for me to realize that I'm just not that impressive of a human being. You know what I mean? You just see some of these feats of strength that some of these people have, and it's like, yes, we're super strong. Yeah, I could squat 3 times my body weight at the age of 50, which is, you know, up there with the best in the world. But I can't do that, you know, and that's just really cool. His comment was real simple. He says, I have some of this Jumpers vid saved, and he's crazy. And I responded, every time I think I'm strong, I realize there are different kinds of strength, and I'm not. My goal is to try to be strong in every category, but it's almost like you have to master something and then branch off of that. If we try to be all things at once, we're not good at anything. I don't know. And then I figured that could be the video topic. I've been watching a lot of videos about biohacking. Not because I'm doing it, but just because I find it really interesting. There's these the subculture of people that spend thousands of dollars a month with the goal, the aim to literally live forever. Like they have it in their mind that technology is going to advance by the time they get to my age, let's say, because a lot of them they're still in their 30s. That we will have figured out the human genome to the point where we can unlock immortality. And there's biblical implications to that. I mean, I guess, I don't know. From a biology standpoint, my wife went to school for microbiology, and I was a chemistry guy. I have about 80 college credits, and most of it's science, but I wasn't very heavy in biology, where she was, and it's nice because we were able to help each other in our studies because of me being heavy in chemistry, and the biology had the organic chemistry side of it, so it was fun to kind of dive into it. But one study she did was on telomeres, which is basically like a timer for cells, and we live based on the length of our telomeres. So as we age, those telomeres at the end of the strands, the DNA strands, the chromosomes. God, no, I can't remember specifically, but essentially they found that the length of telomeres in mice dictated how long they live, and as those cells reproduce, the telomeres get shorter and shorter and shorter. So there's like a built-in timer that we have in us that no matter what we do, no matter how healthy we are, no matter what we do, we can't hack that. That's built in, and when those telomeres are done, the cells stop reproducing. And you know, we have billions of cells, and they all have different timers, say. But that's how systems fail. As those cells stop reproducing, the system slowly starts to break down, and then we die. You know, I know that's very like grade school explanation of like advanced biology, and I wish I had the literature in front of me, but you guys can look it up. You know, look up cell telomeres and cellular reproduction. and you know, kind of. It sort of lays it out. It's like we have a built-in timer. We're not going to live past a certain point no matter what we do. And science has not come any closer to figuring that out. Now, what we can do is we can improve the quality of our life. And that's really what it is for me. It's like, hey, you know, I could be gone tomorrow. Tomorrow's promised to nobody. And then let's say you do all that. Let's say you spend those thousands of dollars a month and you live obsessively and you deprive yourself of all the joys of life. And you'll walk outside and a satellite crashes from orbit and smashes you, or you get hit by a bus, or some random guy drives by and tries to shoot your neighbor's house up, and you know what I mean? Like, fill in the blank. Like, pick a natural disaster. Like, what's to say that after we've obsessed and we've done all this stuff with the aims of trying to live forever, that we just won't get taken out by nature? You know what I mean? Like, a bear escaped from a zoo and you went to check your mail and it just so happened to be your time to meet him. You know, like, what are the odds? 1 in a billion, but you know, that 1 in a billion guy got eaten by a bear today. You know, it's like, it's just, tomorrow's promised to no one, people. So it's like, where do you draw the line between trying to be responsible and live with moderation and have a good life and becoming so obsessed with it that it consumes you and it robs you of all your joy? Don't eat that donut, it'll kill you. Oh man. On a side note, I am not endorsing, or I'm endorsed by this product in any way, but these are less than 59 cents a can, and the ingredients are water and mango puree from concentrate. They got a little bit of ascorbic acid as a preservative. That's it. I love these things. These are awesome. I buy them. I usually buy them by the case. They're just so refreshing and delicious. I wish I got paid by them. That'd be cool. But I digress. God, they're good. So the reason I'm showing this video over me doing boxing training, well, I'm, as you can see, horrible at it. I'm getting better though. I've been doing on and off training for 3 years now, maybe 2, and I'm actually training with other people now, and I'm starting to get competent to the point where I can hold my own in sparring and stuff like that. But I'm not good at it, and I think it's important to show the things that I'm not good at. So we were talking about being well-rounded physically, able to do everything we love to do as we get older. This is kind of targeted at guys that are over the age of 40. Runner boy, you're still pretty young, so you haven't really run into a lot of this stuff, but it goes quick, my guy. And you might, you've been injured, so you've had to recover from injury. You know the drill. But as we get older, man, it starts getting real. And a lot of guys, they look at me like, I've always had a baby face, so I've always looked super young my entire life, total genetics. And I would say ever since I went on testosterone, and it could be just getting older in general, but my age is starting to show. I am no longer looking young. Like, people are starting to guess my age. They're starting to guess I'm in my late 40s, early 50s. And you know what? That's okay. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to start cutting on my face. I'm not going to start getting surgeries. I'm not going to start eating special diets. Although, like, with the medical issues I have with my intestinal problems, I kind of have to, but that's because I'm addressing issues. But as far as, trying to live longer, really, I'm not stressing about that. I really honestly believe that the best thing we can do as we age is to do resistance training, weight training. Does it have to be powerlifting? No. But that brings me around to trying to be good at everything. I really do think it's important that we master something. And for a lot of us, weightlifting's a no-brainer because you're doing it anyways. So I picked weightlifting, and I saw the sport of weightlifting, and that was super technical. And then I saw the sport of powerlifting, and that had a low barrier of entry. It's easy to be good at, but it takes a lifetime to master. And I found that was for me. I'm always learning. I'm always getting better. I'm never an expert. I think there's this weird thing we go through where we get really good at first, and we think we know everything, and then we start offering training advice to everybody. And then we run into like our first major, conflict or confrontation, like with competing, and you realize like a whole world opens up where you realize, wow, I'm not that strong. And for me, I was training at that little gym in Henderson, Nevada, and I was like the strongest guy in there. I was the big fish in a really, really tiny pond. And I'm deadlifting 5 plates for singles, and people are like watching me. They're like amazed. And then after I got into the sport of powerlifting and I started training at a powerlifting gym, like my weights weren't even the warm-up weights of some of these guys. Like I was the weakest guy in that place, and I was disillusioned. I was blown away. I was blown away how just going to a different facility, I went from being an expert to knowing nothing, and having to like literally humble myself to start from the bottom and work my way up. That was the first blow to the ego. But it taught me a really important lesson. Don't ever get too high on yourself. There's always somebody better. And that's why these guys online that are always calling me out for like lifts, like I could do more than you or whatever, and you're not that strong. And it's like the reason why I don't really give it much credence is because, as strong as they think they are, we are nothing. There's guys out there that, literally like look at our totals as like if they had our total at a competition, they'd probably kill themselves. You know what I mean? Like we're unacceptable to them. So it's like, what are you bragging about, man? There's guys that there's some true genetic outliers out there that make us look like the novices that we are. And that's the mental approach that I take to it, is like, I'm not an expert. I don't know what I'm doing. And by remaining teachable, I've met some really cool people. Like people have offered to help me, and I listen to everybody, every single one of you guys that comments and gives me realistic advice. Like if I'm posting a squat video and someone if I'm doing like lengthened partials and someone says you need to do full range of motion squatting, I'm like, that's stupid. Like obviously I do that. I don't listen to that crap. But if there's people that offer me like real advice, something useful, something that I can use to change what I'm doing, I absolutely look into it. And I take all of those comments seriously. And I love it. It's like you guys are like my de facto training partner. And it has ever since COVID shut the gyms down and I went online. I really haven't gone back. I've been using you guys ever since, and it's worked really well for me. And I met some really awesome people along the way. I've gotten to go across the country a couple times and meet some of you people in real life, and that has been super cool. I mean, think about it. We're just all lifting on YouTube, and we have a really good thing going. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret that you might find interesting. You might not. I don't know. I'm adopted, and my sisters were all adopted, and they all went out and they found their biological parents, and they did all the genetic testing, and they saw how long the families lived till and what kind of conditions they all had. And I don't have any idea. I have no idea who my birth parents are. I've not done any DNA testing. I don't know if I have genetic underlying conditions and you could say, well, that's not good because you can be proactive about that stuff. And that's right. That's true. There's a part of me that's tempted to, because I want to know if there's maybe this like the digestive issue I got, if there's something like that runs in the family. But then there's another part of me that's like, not knowing, ignorance is bliss, Maybe we all died at the age of 50 from cancer or some kind of brain explosion, or who pick a catastrophic heart failure. Maybe we all live to be 100. I don't know. I have no idea. And not knowing, it's like, it kind of had taken that worry away. It's like I don't obsess about it because I have no idea. And I kind of like not knowing. And there's a little part of me that's bitter. My parents gave me up, and it's like they didn't care enough to try to find me. So it's like, why should I try to find them? Yeah. That now we're getting into like childhood trauma stuff. Keep on target here. It's not meander into that. My messed up mind. I can make another bunch of videos on that stuff. No, but it's like, I don't know. Tomorrow's promised to no one. So my goal with my training is I want to master something. I want to master the sport of powerlifting, but I also want to be good at everything else. So things I'm interested in, obviously I like boxing. I want to be able to rollerblade with my kids. I want to be able to go on bike rides with them. We like to go rock climbing. We love to go camping. We like to go fishing. We like to go hunting. We like to go shooting. We like to do all this nature stuff, and it's all stuff that requires pretty good physical condition. It's long hikes in the mountains where the elevation and there's no air, and it's you got to be in good condition. Plus, the world is going to shit, boys. I don't know if you noticed. Who knows what the future holds? It might all collapse, and it might be, The Walking Dead in a few years. I mean, that's unlikely because humans tend to be more cooperative than that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what the future holds. So, being in good physical shape is probably what do they say? Like, chance favors the prepared. I have an uncle. He owns an arsenal. This guy's got hundreds of weapons, and his plan for the apocalypse is he's gonna hole himself up and be able to. The guy can barely walk. He can't get out of a chair. Like, what is he gonna do? It doesn't matter how many weapons you have if you can't get up and walk to the living room to use them. It's like being able to hop over a couch or something. What if the house is on fire? I was like, at least I could probably get my loved ones to safety, you know what I mean? But it's a real thing, as we get older, it's like, I don't know, it's like I'm not so worried about the cosmetics of it all. Like, I used to obsess about my looks, because I looked so young for so long, and now that that's starting to go away, that's a huge blow to the ego, man. It is. It's like, wow, I'm starting to but I had to make peace with it and let it go because I don't want to be obsessed about my looks. I'm not going to do anything to try to keep young. I'm not going to get surgery. I'm not going to do wrinkle tucks or anything. It's going to be what it's going to be. I'm going to just try to grow old as gracefully as possible. And if this all falls off, it falls off. You know what I mean? How long am I going to be able to do this for? I don't know. Another year? Another 10 years? Another 20 years? I have no idea. But what I do know is I'm going to do the things that I can do today to try to live my best life possible. And that includes enjoying it. If I want a cheeseburger, I'm going to have a cheeseburger. If I want some donuts, I'm going to have a donut. It's all that, it's that 80-20 rule we were talking about, moderation. So in summary, to wrap this up, the answer to the question is it good to try to train to be good at everything? Or should you master something and really hone in and just be the best you can be at that, and then from there branch out? I tend to lean towards the second one. I think it's super important to have that thing that you're really passionate about and good at, and sometimes that thing gets taken away from us. I used to play basketball at a pretty high level, and when I blew my knees out, that thing was gone, and that does happen. But it gives you that, what it does is instills that drive, that ability to okay, I have to do something different, but I can still do it. You have that discipline. You know what it takes to really get into something and hone it. And that's what I've gotten out of the sport of powerlifting, is that discipline, that ability to really just work hard and go after it. And that's bled into all areas of my life. And I approach everything that's important the same way. I approach work the same way. Painting Warhammer figurines, it's super hard. And I'm not good at it, but I'm getting better. And that's really the theme of this whole channel. Is a guy that's about to be in his 50s who's trying to do a bunch of different things and get better at all of them. And you guys get to see me succeed and fail. Quick poll question, if anybody has made it this far. Should I dye my hair again? What do you guys think? I'm thinking about coloring it again. And if so, what color do you think I should do it? Let me know if you made it this far. That's how I'll know. You can tell me what color my hair should be. I don't expect anyone's made it this far, but hey, it is what it is. I love you guys. I will see you on the battlefield.